Hi, this is part 4 of the travel box series in which I go through my box of travel memories and tell you about some of them. If you haven't seen the previous parts yet, you can click right here and it'll take you to a playlist that will start at part 1. So in this episode, I think I'm going to find a lot of Boston things and some items from when I studied near Chicago a couple of years ago. This is what the box looks like right now, by the way. It is almost empty. This is a sheet with the details of my host family. When I was studying abroad, I wasn't actually living with a host family. I was just living in a kind of apartment on campus. People who study abroad can get a bit lonely, especially during the holidays when everyone leaves. So I got a host family and I was able to celebrate Thanksgiving at their house. And they were just super lovely. Here I have a walking map of Boston. I was in Boston to visit one of my American friends, Sarah. It was kind of an unplanned 5-day trip and she was still at university, so I had a lot of time to kind of spend by myself. Unfortunately, you can get to lots of places in Boston by just walking. While I was in Boston, I also went on one of the duck tours. And we had to quack at other buses when we saw them. I think this is my ticket for the last Harry Potter movie when I saw it at LeakyCon in 2011 in Florida. Another New York Metro ticket. A show bill for 42nd Street. I went to see this with my dad when we were in New York when I was 12. I think I remember understanding everything because, you know, there's a lot of tap dancing, but there's also people speaking English. But then I think when the intermission happened, I thought the show was over, so I probably didn't get that much of it. Part of a plane ticket that just says question mark, question mark, question mark, which is an accurate way of describing flying on standby. A map of Elmhurst College that I got on my first day there. I think I bought this uber sexy California card because I was gonna send it to someone, but I never did. A train ticket from Chicago to Indianapolis. After I was done studying near Chicago, I decided to go visit Marion and I took a train to Indianapolis. And then the journey continues. After that, I took a Greyhound bus for 24 hours, which I'm sure I've talked about before, to New Jersey. That was fun. I went to New Jersey to visit Sarah, who was living there at the time, and I celebrated Christmas there. That was one of the best Christmases I've ever had. Then I have some Boston Museum tickets. I have one for the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum. If your name's Isabella, I think you can get in for free here. It's a beautiful museum that was basically donated by Isabella Gardner, and she said that she wanted her house to be turned into a museum, but they weren't allowed to change anything. But then some of the paintings were stolen. They were cut out of their frames a couple of years ago, but they weren't allowed to move them, so now those empty frames are still there. And a ticket for the Science Museum. This is a guy's business card because when I was on a train from Chicago to Indianapolis, there was this guy sitting next to me and I was talking to him about how I was meeting one of my internet friends who I'd only met once before, and he was either very concerned or trying to hit on me, one of these options, and he gave me his business card and he was just like, call me whenever if anything goes wrong. So right after that I followed him on Twitter and we've never talked since, but I still follow him. I have no clue who this guy is, but sometimes I see him pop up in my Twitter feed and I just kind of have to giggle to myself. This is what the train tickets to get from Elmhurst College to Chicago looked like, and it just has all the months and then 1 through 9 and then again here and then A through M, and then the guy on the train had a clipper and he would kind of punch holes in the appropriate squares. It's such a cool system, and also the tickets were really cheap. This is the tag that I got during freshman orientation on my first day at Elmhurst College, and of course my last name was misspelled. My very last item in this box is a group picture that I took with my freshman orientation group. I am right there in the middle. This was some kind of like high construction and we had to get the entire group on the other side. Half of the people in my group played football and they were massive. I just remember like standing on their shoulders while one other guy was pulling me up, and as soon as he got me over this construction, he just yelled, "Welcome to America, Holland." And now the box is completely empty. So I guess this is the last part. I hope you guys enjoyed hearing all my travel stories. If you have any of your own travel stories, feel free to make a video and post a video response, and I'll talk to you guys later. Doei!